Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest of the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. All right, so today I have Laura Chan on the line, and she's founder and CEO over at Recruiting Resources. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Nice to
All
see you.
All right, Laura. So we got a lot to talk about today. So we're going to get into recruiting executive level accounting and finance talent. But before we do that, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all with what we like to call our Mission Matters Minute. So Laura, at Mission Matters, our aim and our goal is to amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's what we do. Laura, what mission matters to you?
Yeah, by the way, I have to just say I commend you. I love what you do because I think it's just so inspiring for people to hear, have a voice and a platform and to be able to hopefully get inspired and pay it forward. So loving what you do. But yeah, I'll just kind of tie in what we do. The short answer is definitely making a meaningful impact. Obviously, what we deal with is, the human interaction and human connection at an executive level and below as well. And so just making that positive impact in the community, but making sure that we're staying, intentional and mindful about that along the way. Because in our business, yes, we're recruiters, we're career coaches, but we also, there's so much beyond that. And it can be very easy to lose sight of that because it's a high volume transactional business and people just want to make deals and placements and that kind of thing. So we'll kind of get to that, but it's more like just staying true and connected to that mission and the overall purpose, which for me early on 30 years ago is what I found. So why I love this business so much. I'm passionate about it.
So I want you to, well, first, thank you for sharing that. Love to hear, what drives people, what motivates them to get out there and to make a difference. But I do want to go back in time to like when you started in search and in recruiting, like how did all that begin for you?
So, I started in sales and doing sales in San Diego for a large hotel chain, and then was approached by someone that I knew from college who happened to be a director at one of the largest, at the time, global recruiting staffing firms. And so just fast forward, that was back in 95. So literally there was no Google, certainly no social media platforms. Nothing was, very little digital platform exposure. So basically we, just kind of started the business back then in developing, working with, my tools were the Yellow Pages and posting jobs in the newspaper and
for you kids listening out there, there were these things called like job placement ads and like class.
We didn't even have like Ask Jeeves at the time. It wasn't even until a little bit later. So,
does anybody? I haven't heard the words Ask Jeeves. They definitely don't know.
That was our go-to.
It's all right because at least we're talking the language of the executives out there. It's okay.
Absolutely. So it blows my mind, of course, now where we are today with technology and everything. But so those are my tools. So I didn't know what I didn't know, and no fear, and just pounded out to hit the quotas I need to hit. And then through that is when I really learned, okay, the deeper human connection. Yes, it's gratifying to find people their next career move, but you just learn so much about the deeper story about a person, which to me is fascinating because each person is so different. What drives them, what motivates them, what makes them tick, their personal circumstances. And that leads to, yes, helping to navigate them through their career journey, but also just establishing that long-term relationship. So many of my clients and candidates today I've been, connected with or placed or worked with 20 years ago. So and my point being is that that was my foundation. So it was all about the face-to-face meetings and the live discussions, versus obviously now today it's a whole different world. So that's where I think I found the true, at the core, what I love about this the most. So fast forward, did really well in 6 years, was promoted 4 times, asked to open up different offices throughout San Diego and LA, became Chairman's Club winners and President Club winners. And and built teams and did quite well. And then we just, at the time, it was somebody, ironically, who had hired me at this company who also progressed there,
Hmm.
started recruiting resources literally a week before 9/11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we'll never forget, in like a windowless office, two of us, and just the planes crashed in the Twin Towers,
Oh
and
my gosh.
mind boggling. And so we were, of course, went home with our families, but then back at it the next day and just, laser focused and
Hmm.
with the business. And I think it was just from the foundation we gained. And again, just really tapping into and staying mindful of what it is the
Mhm.
big picture is that we're doing. It's not just, yes, it's finding them their best move in their career, or helping
Mhm.
our clients with their hiring outlook and their strategizing and assessing their hiring needs, but
Mhm.
so much more. I mean, they're just it's the deeper, the meaningful impact that we're
Yeah.
making in their lives. So
Now, lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners that watch this show, and I'm curious, when you made that transition, let's just say working for corporate, working for another company, and going out on your own, putting up your own shingle,
yeah.
like, what did that come intuitive to you? Like, was it natural? Like, was there a little bit of fear there? Like, what was that? If you can remember, I know it was a while ago, but what was
Yeah,
that
no,
particular
I
moment like
remember
for you?
vividly. I was running one of the largest areas in Southern California for this
Mm.
company, and it's a very heavy, quota intense, driven environment,
Mm.
from the top down style. So the culture and the management style shifted. So that was something tangible that sort of prompted me to sort of
Mm.
think, okay, is this the right move for me, or the right place and environment
Yeah.
anymore? Um, and I learned a lot about myself because, I think with that type of intense environment, and the way they, positioned how you need to manage people, I was a micromanager, and I
Mm.
learned very quickly about myself and just didn't want this anymore. And I was working, 60, 70 hours a week and
Mhm.
consistently. So it was kind of that, coupled with, it's time to move on and just be able to
Mm.
apply what I love about this business, which, again, we can all lose sight of that so much when we're just trying to hit these numbers, um, and go into an environment. And I hear it from my clients and candidates since we started this business all the time, the
Mm.
the difference between our service and the value added approach and that quality connection versus these surface level
Mm.
conversations when others are, just trying to meet their quotas. So it was empowering, and it was wonderful. And we, fortunately, I think, because of the foundation we gained, the 9/11 was, of course, tragic, but we still had this, like, wonderful, smooth transition, and
Mm.
built our business and scaled, and where we are today, it's exciting. And I've been through three recessions,
Yes.
the dot-com boost, to the mortgage crisis, to the
2008. We got.
COVID, I mean, the global pandemic. Just in January, of course, we were impacted with the fires in
Mhm.
LA. So through that, I've been through, a lot of these economic challenges, and
Mhm.
how to pivot and still scale the business. And
Mm.
again, overall, staying connected to what the holistic approach is, or the holistic mindset for me is, and the bigger picture
Mm.
of just making sure I'm making
Yeah.
an impact in people's lives, and
Yeah.
just making sure that those long-term relationships are established.
Hmm.
Not
How
just
did you find, or when did you find, maybe it was from the beginning, I don't know, your niche in accounting and finance, and why do you enjoy working with those industries in terms of placements?
Yeah, I mean, great question. I actually kind of didn't start in the accounting and finance area within this other global company, but as I grew within this company and was
Hmm.
promoted and asked to open up divisions and offices, I had to learn very quickly. And that company specialized in accounting and finance placement
Hmm.
predominantly at the time, and so then I had to learn how to, build a legal placement division, which was one of their divisions and still is. The creative group was PR and marketing division. And so, but the accounting and finance was kind of always our niche at the time.
Hmm.
So it was just more of an easy transition. I mean,
Hmm.
today accounting and finance is still a big specialty, but it's also
Hmm.
human resources and then other
Hmm.
operations type roles. So it's expanded to kind of that niche, the different specializations.
So a lot going on right now. AI is touching, many different industries. Recruiting's no different, of
Yeah.
course. What kind of trends are you following? I mean, this is something that's coming up often. What kind of trends in AI or otherwise are you following in recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously AI is today and will continue to be a huge enhancement in
Mhm.
the recruiting world. And as long as I feel like, I mean, I see it all the time, especially now with, people, just the younger generation and the texting relationships they have, and
Yeah.
really not having these, like, pick up the phone or talk to these individuals or meet them. That coupled with AI,
Mm,
as long as it's being used wisely and balanced with still having that, human connection and relationship building, and
mm.
so much that AI can't do, which is more going to be, assessing the culture fit of an opportunity,
Yeah.
or developing the relationships or the reasoning skills. So I would just say, I mean, the trends are certainly enhancing our business, and
Mhm.
if used properly, it can make it so much more efficient. Reduce time, help solve problems, and all kinds of areas. As long as it's just not,
Mm.
used in place of just that human collaboration and
Yeah.
partnership and what we need, and just being that trusted partner to our clients and candidates. So
Mm. S-
AI is, I mean, it's huge, obviously, and it's here to stay and will evolve. But it's those firms or the recruiters that will stand out, that
mhm.
really have more that executive recruiting approach.
Yeah.
And I think the ones that more maybe have a specialized approach or niche in what they do with their
Mhm.
industries versus generalists. So, different
Yeah.
factors, and we're navigating it, as it's
Yeah.
always changing, but that's what we do. So it's exciting. AI is
Mhm.
exciting.
And
Um,
for your and for the executive level approach, like just to kind of let's unpack that a bit, because I'll give you my experience of it. And I remember, like, so as I was transitioning, this is, once upon a time when I was in finance, almost 14 years, I had, multiple executive recruiters that I conversed with like throughout the years, and they would tell me when certain positions came. And as I continued to rise up the ranks in different companies that I worked for, they kind of came with me and they let me know what was going on. They bring new opportunities to me, or things that if they made sense, then we could go that route. If we didn't, we didn't. But realistically, like over the course of a 14-year career in that business, I'd had many conversations with a couple of different recruiters, and we really built relationships over the
mhm,
time. So that, because
mhm,
I wasn't like on the market searching, let's
right.
say that, like that's not what I was doing. I was very happy. I was doing well in all the different positions I was at, and I was continually getting promotions and advancement and things like that. So there was a different relationship there. It's completely different. Even to be able to have that level of conversation and trust that was built through the years,
Yeah.
especially as I got to like the VP level. So then it becomes even that much more like important to who you're talking to. So as I kind of look at that landscape, that's what you're doing. Am I wrong on that, or am I off on
No,
that? Like I'm
you're
trying.
you're on point with that. And I mean, that is, I think, the essence of it is that you have to continue the relationships. And
Mhm.
if they're not looking at that point, that's okay. But when they're making it at the executive level, such as yourself, that transition to another role, it's just so much more about helping navigate the career journey, but
Yeah.
also their personal lives, their stories, and it's a big move for them. So being
Mhm.
able to, if you develop that deeper trust with them,
Mhm.
and again, you're that confidant, because I mean, I become therapist in so many situations where people are
Yeah.
just personally, they're going through something. And so again, it's that whole approach. So you build that relationship and you stay connected. And I think as long as they're trusting you and value you,
Mm.
um, that's the essence of it. So yes, I mean, staying true and connected to what are they looking for. If it's not the right
Mhm.
time now, what is it? And just staying, in touch with them, of course, and
Yeah.
and making sure.
What What type of companies do you find get the most value out of working with you and your firm? Is there a sweet spot versus, industry, size of company? I mean, what's kind of the sweet spot? Who gets a lot of value out of working with you
So
and your
I'm
team?
grateful for, I mean, I can tell you more about our firm as well and what
Hmm.
overall, but I'm grateful because I've been doing this so long that, a lot of my clients, our clients have had, 20, 25 years. And
Yeah.
so those clients, I tend to work a lot with the larger global investment management firms. That's kind of,
Hmm.
what I do on the real estate, maybe the larger real estate firms. As a whole, in our firm, we do a lot within consumer products,
Hmm.
healthcare industries. Tech, of course, is now is back and
Hmm.
big. And being in the front lines, I can speak to what industries are hiring a lot right now.
Hmm.
But to answer your question on size, it's going to be mid-sized to large Fortune 500 companies, Fortune,
Hmm.
10 companies. So it's the wide range, but more the mid to larger size companies.
Mm. And looking at and types of roles, I know executive we talk about, but can you just give some ideas there, like the type of roles that you're and what you're really seeing in the market right now? And just for context for everybody that watches this into the future, this is July 2025, right?
Where literally we just had the announcement from Powell on the Fed, cuts not happening, which I think we probably knew yesterday. And then the announcement on, the economy and everything, which, so as far as the positions we place, it's going to be, if it's the accounting and finance world, it's going to be everything from, on average, a director up to, maybe CFO. So it's
Hmm.
a lot more of the sweet spot is the higher level executive roles. But we also, because these people need staff, we're also placing
Hmm.
account all facets of accounting and finance individuals, and that can expand to everything under the umbrella of
Yeah.
finance, um, and then HR level, HR managers, HR directors,
Hmm.
VPs, that kind of thing, and the operations piece is dependent on our client industry. So, for example,
Hmm.
my large, huge global investment management clients come to us for a lot of investment operations type different roles. So,
Hmm.
um, that's kind of our sweet spot right now.
Yeah. And looking at when someone's transitioning, let's just say from one role to another, especially getting into that executive side of things. I mean, what is that? I mean, when you're coaching, when you're working with somebody, and I'll tell you where I'm gearing this question for, by the way. I'm for the talent. We've talked a lot about the company side of things. I know there's some people that'll watch this that are thinking like, should I make a move? Should I not make a move? Should I, test, see what's even the market for my field?
Yeah.
How should the talent or the employees in this case, maybe that have never worked with an executive search firm, how should they be looking at this relationship, especially if they hadn't done it? Because it's not intuitive.
Yep. Yeah. And that's kind of going back to what we really do a lot of, which is the career coaching piece.
Mhm.
So it's not a one-off, transaction now. It's okay, let's get the whole story
Mm.
about what is going to motivate you and drive you to your next, and be excited about your next opportunity. And
Yeah.
so really, we try, of course, and develop relationships with all kinds of
Hmm.
C-suite individuals throughout different companies. But so many, the majority of I would say the placements that we make or the connections we make,
Hmm.
these people weren't looking, much like yourself when you said
Yeah.
you weren't looking. These people weren't looking to be
No,
in
I
my
got a phone call. I got a random phone call, and I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh, what?
yeah,
Who is
yeah.
this? What?" They're like, "Yeah,
And it
look, I'll
was
send you a message on
an
LinkedIn."
opportunity that enticed them and it encompassed everything that they're looking for.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I'm ready to make that move. So
Mm.
you just never know. But for us, it's just like, really, again, the coaching, the advising, being that
Mm.
trusted advisor. So if they're not comfortable making the move now, at least I have people all the time, just want to have a conversation. What's the market
Mm.
look like, Laura? What's happening out there? Can you tell me, give me an idea? And then I'll call them a week later and say, hey, I've got this fantastic opportunity that
Mm.
just came up, and it seems to check your boxes.
Mm.
So, that happens all the time. So it's more just, again, the long term. That's so, for me, at the core, the long
Mm.
term relationships,
Yeah.
not these just, one off placements or deals
Yeah.
that we're making.
I'm guessing nationwide, like placements nationwide, everything like that, geography.
Nationwide, of course, we're based in Los Angeles, but do a lot of work in the West Coast, a lot in New York, and I would say a lot of clients in Texas as well. But we've covered all nationwide, definitely based on clients.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, this has been great having you on the show today and getting to know more about your firm, your history in the business. I just have to ask, what's next? What's next for you? What's next for the firm?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some things in the works that we're going to be launching to continue to scale the business. Exciting time for us, and then also, just kind of going back to the staying true and intentional and mindful to what our overall the big picture purposes. And I think the people in our firm do a good job of doing that, and we hear that all the time again from clients and candidates. That's what differentiates us, is the quality of your service and the conversations and the relationships you're building, and the longevity there. So that's that's kind of it. And just scaling and launching some fun, exciting things coming up in the future here.
Very good. Very good. Laura, if somebody wants to follow up and learn more about recruiting resources, whether they're employers that are looking to, get some placements, or they're potential, job candidates that want to see what's going on in the market and in their field, how do people connect?
So, I mean, I'm on LinkedIn. They could contact me that way. My email I could provide, but it's Laura Chan at recruitingresourcesinc.com. For now, I think those are the best avenues, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah.
Awesome. And for everybody watching, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you can connect with Laura. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Laura, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Adam. Thanks for having me.